As a brand new student, if you've been with me for 2 years or so, you're brand new. You're still brand new. And there's nothing wrong with it. Don't take that as me talking down to you or being ignorant. And it's not narcissism. It's not arrogance. You're so new. You haven't really figured it out for yourself yet. You just found your groove. But when I tell you, you can't be profitable every single day, I want you to have that in mind so that way you don't insist upon being profitable in the beginning every single day, because you're not going to be. And if you think that I've taught that you should have that mindset early on and you can't hit that mark, guess what it does? It completely destabilizes the growth pattern and curve that you're on. It becomes a roller coaster ride, and you don't want that. I'm trying to be a mentor or a teacher that guides you with all the right information, but makes you aware along the way. Here, this right here will hurt you. Don't touch it. Oh, by the way, don't step there because that's a snare. Oh, don't go down. Don't even look down there, because that lion will see you staring at it as a means of challenging it. And you're going to try to do something you're not ready for. Fight a lion or fight a bear. Okay. And some of you don't want to listen. And my children don't want to listen. It's human nature. That's why when I teach repetitively. Oh, this guy says the same thing over and over again. When you do that in my comment section, I don't ever see your comments ever again. So if you ever want me to see your comments, if you're rude, if you're an asshole, just know that I'm the only one that sees that. And it's easy for me to say, okay, well, you're not here to learn. See ya. Enjoy working for the rest of your life. And then I don't see you no more. It's never been the case. So really, what are you doing? You're being sold. Okay. You're being sold and convinced to look somewhere else other than this. When I brought the goods, I have students that are making fortunes with real money, both live accounts and or through funded accounts in companies that are all around the world. Not just one company. I have no affiliation with none of them. I told you last year, I was bringing the receipts. I have created monsters. I'm creating a monster in you. You just have to stop fighting it. At some point, it's going to take over you. And you got to give into it. Let it happen. Don't worry about what other people should see in you by now. You've been doing it this long. You should have been profitable. Forget all that. Stop letting other people put the expectations on you should be meeting. You're growing at your pace. You owe nobody an explanation for how long it took for you. You owe no one an explanation on what you made or lost this week or last week. You don't owe that to anyone. Not one person. And for folks that get out here and they feel like they have to do that, or they can't be recognized, you're looking outside of yourself, and that's your problem. When I was a young man, and I was in my 20s, I needed to show that outwardly because I didn't have it in my personal family. Like, I wasn't recognized as someone that was significant. Own parents didn't have anything to do with me. So I had a real chip on my shoulder. And some of you have that same type of thing, maybe from a different core reason or root cause, but you're doing that same thing and you're using social media to validate you. And as soon as you do that with trading or your trading results or your growth as a trader, you are inviting chaos. You are inviting a level of difficulty that you cannot even imagine. It is so absolutely toxic to real growth, organic growth, something that if you weren't showing your results along the way with other people that can be criticizing or very highly critical of you, who don't even know who you really are, what was an inspiration for you to take the trade, what you felt while you're in a trade, who has never shown you any kind of support, but you're inviting their opinion. Hey, I'm trying to make a go of this, and the most difficult thing in the world up against the most brilliant minds, and the corruption that's in this industry is unfathomable. And, here's my progress. What do you think? Well, you're asking Twitter, Discord, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, a swimming cesspool of failures. You think they're going to come to you and say, keep going. Attaboy, kiddo. Keep doing it. You're doing a great job. Don't lose sight of the goal. They're miserable. They're broke. You're talking to Carl. Carl, the brown noser. Okay. He can't trade. He's stuck right in that cubicle. And the best he can do is brown nose with the boss. Snitch on everything and make himself look good and get employee of a week or month. Your whole mindset is to get away from that type of person. Isolate yourself from that. You need to be an island in and of itself, apart from everyone and everything in this industry. That's what I did. That's what I tell you to do. While learning with me, it's important for you to have a hive mentality. What are we focusing on? What should we filter out? How should we conceive these trading ideas in our own models? All these things. That's a hive mentality. And some of you aren't prepared for that. Many of you are. Many of you are going to rise up in this community, even in my absence, and you're going to be like pillars in this community and say, hey, this is what we should be doing. This, and you're going to flock to those types of people. And if they're the right type of person, and they have all the things that were taught by me correctly, and they're not leading you astray with other nonsense and bringing in this and bringing in that, they're going to be an asset to you. They will be an asset to you because some of you need that sense of community, but the goal is to not need it forever. That's the independent mindset that I'm trying to cultivate in all of you. Not a codependency with me or anyone else. I need a study partner. No, you don't. Your study partner is your journal. That's your proctor. A proctor is someone that's watching you while you're doing the test. You're not allowed to talk. The proctor is not going to guide you. They're there to make sure you're not cheating and you're following the rules. That's your journal. You have to give it permission to be demanding that you are accountable. And you should feel comfortable doing it with your journal because nobody else should be reading it. I appreciate the fact that some of you are doing amazing note taking. Some of you are very, very articulate in the way you capture your thoughts and your observations in charts. Much, much better than I do. And highly organized. And that is amazing. I'm proud to see it. But I think personally that if you're showing everything with your journal, you are not going to be using the journal in its highest capacity, meaning you have to give yourself the environment, the arena for you to be honest with yourself, but also self-love. Okay. And I'm not talking about masturbation, by the way. The idea of giving yourself positive self-talk when you do something incorrect or correct, not seeking some negative reinforcement or, oh, I effed that up. I was so stupid when I did this. You have to counsel yourself. You have to encourage yourself. You have to remind yourself through positive reinforcements, always excluding any negative. I'm not saying that you can't observe and appreciate where you've done something incorrectly. It's the way you retain that observation in your journal. It's highly critical that you are so careful not to record any negative stimuli that would make you feel belittled, that would feel like abuse verbally or mentally to yourself, and find the silver lining in everything. If you make a mistake, if you've done something incorrectly, say, I'm thankful that I had this opportunity to learn how to improve on this very thing. I have noticed this in my trading or my annotations in the journal for whatever amount of time that you may have, seen these things creeping in. Say, this is an area for me to spend more time studying how to mitigate these circumstances. What you have done is you've talked to your subconscious. If you would have put negative things in there that said, I keep messing it up, I'm never going to get this funded account passed, I'm never going to be successful at this. I'm never going to learn how to trade. This is so hard. This is so difficult. This is more difficult than I ever thought. When you're putting that in your journal, you think that you did that and you let go of that. I read a tweet from somebody the other day. I didn't like it. I didn't agree with it, but I didn't want to be off-putting by saying anything about it. But the guy was like, I do my journal. I say where I messed up, I effed it all up, and I feel clean for the day. Now I'm good. No. What you don't realize is you're literally smashing your self-worth. You think that you're beating yourself into and cutting yourself out of granite, like a Goggins type thing. The guy that lost a lot of weight, and he's always running, and he's talking about, you're a bitch. You got to get off the couch and stop doing it. You can't do that in this. Okay, I promise you can't do that here, because this is so much different than just physical fitness and losing weight. This is absolutely attacking who you are and how you think. And some of you might go, well, it's the same thing. And it's actually not. Because that man could have done all those things and never been recognized and never made money for having done so. But he would still feel good because he did what he was supposed to do. Okay, that's for him. Most people don't respond well to that type of stimuli. I'll be honest with you, okay? My disposition is this. If I would have been drafted, and there was concern about that when the Gulf War was going on, because they said, look, if we need to, we'll have to institute the draft. And I'm thinking to myself, well, that ain't going to work well for me, because I don't like being told what to do. And you can say whatever you want to say, what I'm about to say, but if a man gets in my face and screams, you better do this, you better do that, I'm beating that guy's ass. I don't care how many stripes he has on his sleeve. I don't care. They can court-martial me, put me in whatever. I'm beating that guy's ass. I'm not an army guy, okay? I'm not a military guy. I don't like being told what to do. But I also know that there are people that are like me, or maybe not to that extreme, that won't respond well to recording negative observations in a journal and finding it fruitful or helpful. It would just be, this is a waste of time. All I'm doing is complaining into the journal. That's not what you're using a journal for. Okay? That's not what you're not to do that. You are to look at everything that you're doing as a learning experience, and it's always a good reason for it. And it's a skill set that you have to acquire. Nobody sits down and does a journal and says, this, that, other thing, and it's a love story constantly. There's going to be plot twists in this book that you're writing. But you don't want to be doing anything in your growth that would be viewed as argumentative with yourself, or condescending or judgmental in your journal. Like, this is why it needs to be personal and private. And if you share these things publicly, you're inviting people to be critical of you. And you might say, it doesn't bother me. It does bother you. It would bother anyone. If it's enough time being done to you, it will have an impact on you. And then you'll be thinking about, I want to write this in my journal, and I want to record this, but that person or these people that have said this in the past about other things, how would they think about this if I share it? See, right away, you've messed it up. You can't be open and honest with yourself in your journal when you've invited it to be a third-party conversation. It's not. It's not a third-party conversation. It's not meant to be shared with me. It's not meant to be shared with your spouse, your significant other, your children, nothing. It's just you having a conversation with your future self. That's who you're talking to. You're encouraging that future trader along the way. You're coaching him. You're coaching her. You're doing those things to constantly give yourself the inspiration to stick to this, because there's no better cheerleader than yourself. Equally so, and much more, there's nobody more formidable that's going to prevent you from succeeding in this than you. There ain't a troll out there that can trade better than me. There ain't one person out there that says anything negative about me can do better than me. They're all broke compared to me. None of that stuff bothers me. None of that stuff should bother you. But some of you will lie to yourself and say, it doesn't really bother me, when you know it does. So don't give them the opportunity to come into the conversation with your future self. These people are miserable. Why would you want them to be a part of your growth? They're not even speed bumps. Like they're nothing. They're along the path. Like I said, don't spend any time with that. Don't look over here and don't even pay attention to that. That's a waste of time. Just keep your eyes going forward and walk carefully. That's how you navigate it. You don't get caught up in all the drama. Truth be told, I kind of like the drama. I kind of like it because all it does is shows me who the weak links are. Where's the weak ones out there? Because they're going to talk the most. None of them can do anything to me. Not one thing. They can't do anything to me. They've advertised for my YouTube channel more than I did. But maybe you don't have that type of personality where you can thrive in that chaos and drama and it doesn't hold you back. It kind of entertains you. Maybe it's something that would detract or distract or take you away from the things that you should be focusing on. Well, if you know that's the case, don't invite other people to read your journal. If you're absolutely, steadfast and no matter what you do, you're going to be honest in your journal and you know yourself. I don't know you. Nobody else knows you better than you do. But these ideas of opening up to, it's not like an AA meeting, okay? It's not Alcoholics Anonymous where you just tell everybody what you're feeling at the time and you feel like you have to do that to keep yourself sober. Like, don't treat your journal like that and invite other people to your AA meeting. Don't do that. But I think this would have been great for me. Like if I was 20 years old and I was first starting out, as someone that had the experience that I'm sharing with you and, say, hey, listen, pull up your chart. And I don't need to see their chart because if I saw their chart, here's what would happen. I would want to know how their candlesticks are colored. I want to know how many days they have on their chart. Like I would be fanatical. And that's how I was doing everybody I ever looked at. Like I wanted to know everything because that's how my brain works. I don't want to just look at something and say, oh, that looks cool. That's enough. No, I want to know why it works. Why does it work? I want to know every aspect about it. Whenever I had a toy when I was a kid, I took everything apart. I took everything apart because I wanted to know how it worked. Remember the Stretch Armstrong? I'm dating myself here. It's a 70s toy. Yeah, I had to cut this thing open to see what was inside of it. And it's just like this little jelly stuff. I got in trouble for it, but I had to find out what was inside that thing. What made Stretch Armstrong stretch out so far? And when you let go, he would pull his arms and his legs back. Well, that I need to know why things work. So I'm not content with someone that says, here's a thing that puts a little arrow, says it's a buy or sell. That doesn't do it for me. Like that does not do it for me. I need to know why it should go up. And I try to inspire that in all of you. And I probably haven't been all that successful for the most part because this generation, which I've garnered a lot of attention from the younger folks that have come up in the last 2 years or so, because there's been a lot of people that like taken my concepts and rebranded them or never mentioned me, but still taught the stuff. And then now that it's becoming more mainstream and people are recognizing that it's mine. So now they're coming to me, as they should, and that's fine. And it's not costing them anything. But this generation has this level of right now. I want to know it right now because they're impatient. And the whole social media, online stuff has caused that to explode exponentially. And you think that your trading needs to deliver results just like that. Like you just started looking at videos last week. So therefore you should know how to make money and quit your job. And that is not realistic. And that's one of the things that makes me seem like the grandpa of trading because I'm trying to have an old-fashioned conversation with you and slow you down so that way you can do the best at being who you are and the best version of you as a trader. I can make you something really quick and down and dirty to get out there and trade. I've done it 2 times, Silver Bullet in the 2022 model. But for the folks that thought that that was enough and then discovered that, oh, wow, there's a whole lot of other stuff that feels like it's missing, but really it's not. It's you. You're in a hurry. You're in a rush. You didn't really have that organization that you thought you had. You're really not that patient to wait for the setup, even though it's well described and defined in both those models. You have discovered that you are not patient enough. I just muted a joker that was on the comment section this morning saying ICT concepts don't work. It's all BS. Yeah. I used them this past week. Students around the world, different countries, different walks of life, making real fortunes with it. But you're in a comment section. Going to work. Can't wait for the weekend, right? So we're cooking with gas now. You know, the demo account that was put aside for a little while. So that way you can see a real living wage. You know, I don't know how you live where you're at, you know, economically and geographically, where you are and what country, what your financial conditions are where you are. But I would venture to say that $15,000 in 1 week, that's a pretty good living. You don't even need to work the following 3 weeks of that month if that's what you did. I'm confident in saying that most people that are listening to this could fare rather well if they just did that 1 week out of the month. In fact, probably so much that if you did that once every 8 weeks, you'll be doing very well. I want you to think like that. Not that you need to make 15,000, but you need to think about things in terms of income. To go back to the ends series that I did. In my opinion, that's one of my better lectures, and it really has nothing to do with things in the chart. It's how you're progressing as a trader. Why are you trading? You want to make a lot of money? Okay, what happens when you get a lot of money? The lot of money means a lot of more problems. Okay, that's what usually happens because you're not equipped or prepared to handle and manage that type of income. You know, new money is a real thing. And when you start making lots of it and you have no idea what you're doing, you go out buying cars and watches and clothing and spending on your friends and doing nonsensical things. And I get it. You want to sow your wild oats in the beginning. Okay, but don't spend money you can't afford to spend yet. Taxman's coming. Okay, and he's getting paid. One way or the other, he's getting paid. And he'll take it. Even if you don't want to give it to him, he'll take it. But you have to have a total plan. Not, how do I tell if the market's going to go up or down? Teach me to bias ICT, because if I had that, I would know everything. No, you won't. Let's just play devil's advocate, and then I'm going to close this one. If you think that needing to know only the direction for the day, what you're saying is the high going to move a lot farther than the opening, or is the low going to move a lot further lower than the opening? Now, let's just say that you were right in knowing that 80% of the time. You still have to determine where you're going to enter. Oh, I can do that. If you just gave me the bias and I was 80% chance being accurate, I know I can sell short a fair value gap and make profits. I've already seen the evidence that many of you can't do that, because if there's more than one fair value gap, like we saw the other day, and people are losing their mind, how did you pick that one and not that one? Look at the range. Where does it need to go to get to 50% or equilibrium? If I'm really bearish on something, I don't want to see it go up to those higher fair value gaps. Why? Because they'll act as what? A breakaway gap. Oh, right away, we've now just compounded the level of difficulty for everyone that just thinks that I need to know the bias only and I'll know how to do everything after that. No. See, that's the illusion that everybody falls victim to when they get in this industry. You think because you see an example, whether it be in a chart or a video or someone does it with a real account, you think that you'll be able to walk out there and replicate that, not knowing what is required for you to feel comfortable while doing it. Think about it. Have you ever traded with real money before? Because if you just only traded with a demo, as soon as you put on a real account trade, whether it's, the smallest of leverage or the over leveraged, you now have a level of concern about being right or wrong that you don't have any experience to lean on and say, well, this is what you're supposed to. You're now discovering what that feels like. And it's like a brick wall for some of you when you get there. You won't be comfortable. You'll want to close the trade, even if it's making money. Like, you'll want to close it immediately because it's uncomfortable. You don't want to be there. It's like walking in and seeing your wife with another man. You wished you didn't open the door and you saw that. Like, I don't want to be here, even though it's profitable. Now, I'm not saying that another man in bed with your wife is profitable for him, but not for you. But that point of uncomfort, that area of displeasure, and just not feeling like you want to be there. You don't know what that feels like until you've been there. And guess what? When you start making money and it's profitable and you're consistent, it's a matter of time before you start inviting the idea that this is too good to be true. This can't keep going on. Even though I'm following the rules and it's delivering like I would hope in the best case scenario, this can't keep going on. And what you just did, you literally just invited the very thing that you don't want to see happen, but because your subconscious has been told what? This is too good to be true. This can't continue. Now you're in a winning trade again. You're in the next trade. It's a winner. You haven't hit your profit yet, but it's still moving in the right direction. You start getting antsy. Man, I can't wait. I can't wait for this limit to get filled. I know I've only been in a trade for 3 minutes, but this trade is based on the entire session. I'm willing to submit myself. The rules say submit myself till 11 o'clock in the morning. It's only 10:10. I have 50 minutes to submit to still. But I'm up $1,800. What if I come back down below 1,000? That would really tick me off. I would really feel upset about that. You're worrying about all the things outside of what you're supposed to be worrying about. Is the trade still viable? Are the candlesticks telling you that the order flow that you're trading in is still in play? Is it still drawing to the area that you thought was going to be a draw on liquidity, inefficiency or liquidity? Buy stops, sell stops to that effect. And you will talk yourself into an anxiety attack. Maybe not full-blown panic where you got to go to an emergency room, where I have done dozens of times. Yes, really had to go home. Not go home, but leave my home to go to the emergency room. I was having a heart attack or a stroke. That's how bad this will be. When you're making huge amounts of money or losing huge amounts of money, you can't even imagine the level of emotional turmoil and psychological drain. Like you really feel like you're going to die. That's what it feels like. Even when it's a profitable trade, like you can't stand it. Like I know I'm in control. I know I can close this trade right now, but if I don't do it right now, I probably won't have the opportunity to close the trade. That's the kind of mentality you'll feel like. It's unbelievable level of what if thinking. And you're in a rush to get to that. That's why I tell you to go slow. If you can't make consistency with the lowest amount of leverage, whatever the lowest is, and you build from that with a realistic, like I gave you the other day on Twitter, using a micro. If you're trading in the NASDAQ, that's $2 per point. You're going to have to really be an exceptional loser to blow out your account if you're doing one micro in one single day. Like if you blow your account and you're trading with $2 per point, even with the NASDAQ, like you are a special kind of not ready type of trader. That's a true testimony that you should have never been doing what you're doing. If you're able to hit maximum loss or drawdown and you're stopped for the day, you clearly don't know what you're doing. And what you should do is sit still, learn how to trade, and then resume. But most of you don't. You want to hear, tickle my ass with a feather, ICT, and tell me I'm going to make money and there's no losing days. That's what you really want. But I can't promise you. No one's going to promise you that. I can do that myself, but I can't promise that you're going to be able to do that. And that honesty sometimes is offensive to you. Like you don't appreciate the level of honesty I'm sharing with you. And when I prove it and I give the proof, that I'm an asshole for doing so. Oh, you're showing off. I'm not showing off. That's not showing off with that live account. That's not, believe me, trust me, folks, that's not showing off. That's me just simply saying, stop worrying about the things that you're worrying about right now. It works. You can make money. It can be done with a real account. I can trade. You will be able to trade with real money if you listen. You'll be able to be successful if you listen and follow the rules and you're not reckless and you don't over leverage and you don't over trade. It's a default. It will happen. But if you're not ready, don't pretend that you are and rush in there and trying to get these funded accounts or go in there and put money in the AMP or any other broker account and think that something magical is going to happen because now you're ready to trade with real money. You're not ready. And if I was starting out, I would want someone to come forward and tell me, these are the things that would be classic depictions of someone that's not ready. Be honest. What do you feel about it? I would have been like, straight up, like, I would not be ready for this. What prevents you from being honest? The illusion of social media and everybody's being so successful. That's what's the problem. The problem is image. Image is nothing. Image and clout are nothing. They're problems. They're detractors and distractors, and they're cancer. And they're not going to help you as a trader. They're not. They're going to do more damage to you than help. You won't need to do all these other things that everybody else does. And you can carve out a nice living wage. And you don't have to be a millionaire. You know, it's a matter of knowing what it is you're trying to do right now, what you're striving for. And while it might be your interest and goal to be a multimillionaire, okay, what is a multimillionaire goal for you? Is it 2 million? 5 million? I think, honestly, 5 million is the old 1 million in the 90s. Like, you have to have 5 million today to be what would be in the 90s when I was starting out, to be what we would consider a millionaire. Back then, $1 million was something. You know, you could have bought a brand new home for like $88,000, $90,000. Not like a house that I'm living in now, but a nice little neighborhood. You know, 3-bedroom, basement, maybe a half an acre of land. You know, you could have got that for about anywhere between $88,000 and $92,000. You know, brand new right there. You're in the door. It's not brick. You know, it's a stick and drywall type thing with, you know, siding, vinyl siding type thing, but it's a dwelling space, you know. And today things are so expensive. You need to have income. You need to have the cash flow, and cash flow can be derived from trading, and it doesn't need to be an everyday cash flow, but you do need to be net positive on the month. And be comfortable with the idea that it's going to take you longer than you think it is. Because right now, as it stands, if you don't do this, you have the rest of your life to get to the end of the game. And that's not even something to be proud of, because you're all going to be, at some point, you know, unless the good Lord takes you and you meet him in the clouds, you're going to go up in history books as someone that's also laying in the ground. So if you don't do this, what is it going to be that gets you there? You want to be rich. You want to have a different type of lifestyle. You want to have a better living wage, whatever that is for you. You need to sit that down and put it to paper. Write it down. Cast forth a vision. Write it down. It has to be something that you hold yourself to on a day-by-day basis. Not, I have to trade every day. No, but you're working towards that goal continuously. Not losing sight of it. Pursuing it. Overtaking it. not letting it run ahead too far ahead. Just stay on its heels. Your goal, you will reach it if you keep working towards it. But if you don't have a goal, if you aim at nothing, that is the never miss. That's the never miss shot that everybody hits that one. If you don't plan for it and it's nothing that you have as a goal, you will hit that goal. You will hit that target every single time. Nothing. That's an easy target to hit. Simply don't do anything. Don't listen to me. Don't change anything. Don't try to be better organized. Don't be responsible. And you will have nothing to show for it. And you are a success in that regard. But is that really the type of success that you want? You have to do things that are uncomfortable. You have to press into these uncertainties. You have to know that you don't know what the market may do on that hard right edge. You have tools. I have tools. These things are probabilistic. These are things that may in fact deliver, but they might not too. Are you okay with that? If you do it wrong and you do it wrong, are you going to fault yourself and say, it's okay, I'm progressing? Or are you going to say, everything about this is wrong, it's broken, I'm giving up? Some of you haven't met that bridge yet. And how are you going to cross it? Are you going to turn around and walk the other direction? It's not just give me the bias and I'll know how to do it, ICT. It's not. I promise you, it's not. There's so many other things that you don't even understand yet about yourself. What makes you a success or a failure? That's the real secret to this. Because if you're equipped to accept short-term adversities and not see them as failures, because that means that you're taking a loss monetarily, you're having to absorb that emotionally and psychologically, and then not letting it affect you, not causing you to abandon your model or your goal. Just because you may have lost money or blown an account or failed at a funded account challenge or had a funded account and lost it, that's not failure. That's not failure. That's equivalent to you not making your wage at your job because of sickness, illness, vacation. Oh, vacation, they don't pay you the overtime that you may be getting right now. Some of you may have to work a job and get overtime just to make your ends meet. And you don't want to take a vacation because to take a vacation, they only give you 40 hours and you're getting less pay. So you can't even afford to take the vacation. That's a loss. Do you want to quit your job because you can't afford to take your vacation? That's the same thing you're saying if you have losing trades with your model. I'm going to quit this. I can't do this trading stuff. I just had 3 losing days and I blew my funded account. If you blew your funded account and you had 3 losing days, you didn't know how to manage risk. There's an opportunity for you to go in there and say, okay, what did I do here that I could have done differently? How can I fix this so I don't make that same problem a reality that causes me the same disruption right now? All this is a speed bump. It's a detour in the road. You're still going to get to your destination. It just means that you have to go a little bit further outside of what you thought was the route you're going to take. You're going to spend a little bit more time and gas than you first scheduled into the trip. It's all how you think, folks, how you think about it, and you prepare for it. You prepare for these things. You expect and anticipate some measure of adversities, but it doesn't unsettle you. It doesn't take the gas or the momentum or steam behind the engine that's you. Use it like wind in your sails. Okay. Anybody else might be looking at this short-term adversity, this loss of some kind, and then want to quit and beat themselves up about it. You go into it and say, this is an opportunity. I'm going to improve and become even better because of this.